So welcome back to the channel, guys. Welcome back to the channel. When I started this YouTube channel, I really enjoyed being behind the camera. But I know someday I will have to start being in front of the camera, which is someplace I really don't like being. But it is what it is, and I have to do what I have to do. So I've started doing more in camera, taping and stuff like that to try to get my confidence up in speaking to the camera. So I've always wanted to do a video about where I am from, the village that I am from, because I'm not from Plymouth. Everybody would know that I live in Plymouth. I've lived in Plymouth for years, but this is not where I'm originally from. I grew up most of my years here in Plymouth, but I'm not from Plymouth originally, right? And I'll leave that for you guys to guess where I'm from. But we came to live in Plymouth, we being my parents and my siblings, came to live in Plymouth in 1979, October 1979. That's about 46 years ago, right? So you could do the maths. I'm not going to tell you my age, but you could do the maths, right? So I've been living in Plymouth for the past 46 years, but it's not where I'm from originally, right? So I always said that one day I would like to take you guys on that journey that would take you guys to where I am from, in Tobago, right? As you know, I'm in Tobago, sister island to Trinidad and Tobago. I'm on the small island, which is Tobago, 116 square miles. That's where I live. I live where you vacation, or so they say. That's the lingo. So just thought I'd make a video and take you guys on that journey with me back to the village that I'm originally from. Because I remember coming to Scarborough in those days, pretty far drive. As a youngster, used to vomit and all kind of thing in car. Those days they had Capelani in town. I don't know if you guys know what Capelani is. It was like a good store that sold a lot of different stuff. I remember vomiting my clothes and had to go into Capelani's and buy jerseys. Well, my mom, not me, had to buy clothes for me when I get into Scarborough and thing. Yeah, so that's how long. That's how long, because I'm sure some of you guys didn't know about Capelani. That was right on the corner where Scotiabank is in Scarborough, where Scotiabank used to be in Scarborough. Then they have a clothes store there now. Right? Capelani used to be right there. I remember that. So I would really like to take you on that journey back to the village that I'm from and show you around and where I actually used to live, where I was born, where I lived for some years before coming to Plymouth. I even went to school there before I came to the school that I attended in Plymouth here, Plymouth Anglican School, right? So I think today is that day. So we'll take that drive and I'll show you guys exactly where I was born and where I grew up in Tobago. Well, you know where I grew up, Plymouth, but I'll show you where I was born and spent my younger days before coming to Plymouth and establishing myself, right? Going to high school and stuff like that. I went to Plymouth Anglican School, right? So, let's go.
Yo, let me take you to a place where the sun shines bright and the people move slow, taking their time, doing their thing from day to day. To Tobago, yeah, 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 yeah. This little boy came from Tobago with his guitar in his where you come from. Tobago, hey, Tobago, hey, Tobago, hey, the beautiful countryside. Tobago, hey, Tobago, hey, Tobago, hey, the beautiful countryside. Take him to the beach. Bet you never ever been down there. Bet you never. Taking pictures in the sun down there. Bet you never. Man, it's like a paradise down there. Down in Tobago. It's a different type of thing down there. Man, we party till we drop down there. With a lot of pretty girls down there. Down in Tobago. Tell him about the man. Some say he's just a dreamer, living in another world. Cause he never cares for diamonds, never worry about no pearls. Don't worry about no money, and don't ever make no plans. All he think about is music, just to wanna be guitar man. A lot of people say he sound like Wycliffe, and I ain't trying to be funny, but he can never sing a song like Wycliffe. And Cliff could never sing a song like hey. Respect to the true believers who show love to this Pago son. And the hating can't do him nothing. Remember where he come from. Tobago, hey, Tobago, hey, Tobago, hey, the beautiful countryside. Tobago, yeah, Tobago, yeah, Tobago, yeah, the beautiful countryside. Bet you never ever been down there. Bet you never. Taking pictures in the sun down there. Bet you never. Man, it's like a paradise down there. Down in Tobago. It's a different type of thing down there. Man, we party till we drop down there. With a lot of pretty girls down there. Down in Tobago. Sun shines bright and the people move slow, taking their time, doing their thing from day to day. To Tobago, yeah, 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 yeah. This little boy came from Tobago with his guitar in his hand and a kiss from his grandmama on a ticket to London. Hooked up with a high school shorty on a summer holiday, but he never got no loving, cause shorty just loved to play. And the load that he had to carry was a little too much to bear. But his mama told him, son, don't worry, shorty must come back someday. Just remember them old time stories that your granddaddy used to tell, and don't go around making trouble. Remember where you come from. Tobago, hey, Tobago. Bet you never ever been down there. Bet you never. Taking pictures in the sun down there. Bet you never. Man, it's like a paradise down there. Down in Tobago. It's tell him about the man. Some say he's just a dreamer, living in another world. Cause he never cares for diamonds, never worry about no birds. Don't worry about no money, and don't ever make no plans. All he think about is music, just to wanna be guitar man. A lot of people say he sound like Wycliffe, and I ain't trying to be funny, but he can never sing a song like Wycliffe, and Cliff could never sing a song like hey. Respect to the true believers who show love to this TOBAGO son, and the hating can't do him nothing. Remember where he come from? TOBAGO, hey, TOBAGO, hey, TOBAGO, hey, the beautiful countryside. TOBAGO, yeah, TOBAGO, yeah, TOBAGO, yeah, in the beautiful countryside. Bet you never ever been down there. Bet you never taking pictures in the sun down there. Bet you never. Man, it's like a paradise down there. Down in TOBAGO. It's a different type of thing down there. Man, we party till we drop down there. With a lot of pretty girls down there. Down in TOBAGO. Remember where you come from? TOBAGO, hey, TOBAGO, hey, TOBAGO, hey, the beautiful countryside. TOBAGO, hey, TOBAGO, hey, TOBAGO, hey, in the beautiful countryside. Take him to the beach. Bet you never ever been down there. Bet you never taking pictures in the sun down there. Bet you never. Man, it's like a paradise down there. Down in TOBAGO. It's a different type of thing down there. Man, we party till we drop down there. With a lot of pretty girls down there. Down in TOBAGO. Tell him about the man.
This is Queen Street, Betsy Hope. This is the village that I am originally from, where I was born, where I started my early days growing up before I ventured to Plymouth. Well, ventured, was taken there by my parents to live in 1979. Folks, this is where I spent many, many, many days as a child. My mom's sister lived here with her husband and family and a lot of our cousins. But we would spend lots and lots of time here as kids growing up, right? Mainly because this is where family was, and the beach, sea whole day. That is why I do miss sea. I grew up in sea mouth. Yeah, grew up in the mouth of the sea. You know? So this is originally where I am from. Betsy Hope. Queen Street, Betsy Hope. See? Beach right there, people bathing. And we did lots and lots of bathing here. Even when we went to Plymouth, we still would come to the countryside a lot for holidays and vacation and stuff like that. And this is my cousin, he named Dylan, he's the one living here now. So he's trying to bring back the place. comfortable enough so he could do his thing. And up top here is where we would have done a lot of playing as well. Plenty playing at the top of this hill. Cannot lie, but we had a really fun time here. If you look in the distance there, you can see Goat Island. Goat Island. Up at Louisville. You see, that's the house there. There's this big almond tree. Well, it got really big over the years. You know? But we did do lots and lots of playing up here over the years. People, this was really fun. I mean, it brings back so many memories. So many memories that this trip is bringing back to me. Being a child, growing up, coming back up in the East from time to time. Now, there are some, at this hill here, there were cannons here, facing out in the sea. Cannons like you see at the Fort James, Fort King George, Fort James at Plymouth. Those cannons that you see, I will show you them in a little bit where they are now. But those cannons were moved from here because erosion started taking them into the sea. I think either one or two would have fallen into the sea, and tourism would have taken them and placed them somewhere else in the village here. But there indeed were cannons here, so there's some historic value to this spot. And we used to be digging up here for treasure. So you'd have treasure up here as kids, digging. We find a lot of cannonballs that were used as ammunition that were fired out of these cannons. Right? So we found a lot of those. It's very windy up here, but very windy. I'm not sure how best I could control the wind, but it's very windy up here at present. Extremely windy. Up there's Louisville. As I said, this is where I grew up. This is where I'm from. Betsy Hope. Right? This is the village that I am from.
Yo, let me take you to a place where the sun shines bright and the people move slow, taking their time, doing their thing from day to day. TOBAGO.
As I said, we had lots of fun as kids growing up in Betsy Hope. You know, it's bringing back so much memories now. So many memories it's bringing back being here at this moment. I haven't been here for years. You know, years. So really cherishing this moment this afternoon. You know, really glad I took the drive.
Was a little too much to bear, but his mama told him, son, don't worry, shorty must come back someday. Just remember them old time stories that your granddaddy used to tell, and don't go around making trouble. Remember where you come from.
On top, this wall here at the top where the railing is, that's where my grandparents' house was located years ago. The concrete structure seen behind there is one of my uncle living in that structure presently. As I said, my uncle and my mom are the two last surviving relatives of that generation. So the home, grandparents' home was right up here. We lived, as I said, I'll show you that in a bit, a little up the road. And my aunt lived here. So this is where we were most of the time because I really didn't know my grandparents. But I remembered where the house and stuff was up on that side. But I would have spent many days across by my aunt on this side and not home where I originally lived. Many days. Right? So let me see if I could go up on the back here and show you exactly where the view now from on top of the bank. If I could go up here, If I could walk up here, walk up here, walk up here, walk up here. Yep. So, I could vaguely remember this spot as a child, right? I could vaguely remember this spot as a child. Right? Vaguely. But up here is where grandparents' home was on this side. Right? So the house was here. And we would visit here from time to time. As I said, I could vaguely remember that as a child. But my uncle still has his house here. And this is the spot that grandparents' house was. Queen Street, Betsy Hope, Tobago. Across there is where my aunt's house was. Well, that's still there. And we would have lived a little higher up, as I would show you in a little bit. So this is where we would walk around here. And there's also another beach in the back here where we would come from time to time and bathe as well. A lot less wind on this side. We would come around here from time to time, plenty times. Even when there was a blocks factory here, we would come and get grit and special sand that made special blocks, bow tie blocks, and a lot of different stuff, materials to make blocks, decorative blocks, all these little nice little fancy stones and things. We would pick them up so that Godfather would, that's what we called our aunt's husband, Godfather, Wilford Morris. We use those grits and make decorative blocks and stuff like that. But again, there's the beach in the back here. You know, see, a little heavy today, a bit heavy, but it's normally quiet and calm, right? Up on the hill there, that's where I was. If you could see on the hill there, that's where I was a while ago, where the cannons and stuff were on the hill there. That's where I came from. So we also would bathe in the back here from time to time. Now this is some place that we would have passed to go home, to our home where we lived. So we would pass up here to go home, and I'll show you exactly where this road leads. This is Battery Trace, and this is the street that we actually lived on. Right? This is the street that we actually lived on many years ago. Many. Well, it didn't have all these houses. Trust me, it was the real bush. This house was here. You see all them big houses in there? It didn't have all them houses. All them big houses in the bottom, the cousins and them houses. I think all them big houses there. But our house, all them big houses in there wasn't around. But this is where we lived. So them posts you see in there was, that's where the house was. Back years ago. Years ago. This is the spot where we live, but that has since been broken down over the years, right? So, as I said, it's Battery,
Trace.
Betsy Hope. The other one we came down on the other side was Queen Street, that go out to the beach by my aunt and my grandparents' home. But Battery is the one that we lived on. Here looks so different now. So different. Different times. Brings back a lot of memories. But these were, we would have lived years ago. I would have spoken about the cannons down Queen Street on the hill that were falling into the sea. These are the cannons here that were taken down. Gentlemen, good afternoon. All right, all is well. Great. So these are the cannons here that were, be yourself now, boy. These cannons were on the hill down at Battery there, up by my aunt's home. And they would have been taken and brought up here because of the erosion happening down on the hillside there. I think one or two of them would have fallen into the sea already. So the tourism would have taken the initiative to bring them up here to preserve them. And people know that they were from down on that side. So these are the cannons that used to be on that hill. You know, I remember as kids when we come down through the track there, you know, to go to our auntie house up there, is beach. Beach, we coming straight to the beach.
Beautiful countryside, Tobago, 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 the beautiful countryside. Take him to the beach. Bet you never ever been down there. Bet you never.
It's getting a bit late in the evening now.
Paradise down there, down in Tobago. It's a different type of thing down there. Man, we party till we drop down there. With a lot of pretty girls down there, down in Tobago.
This is where I grew up in my early years, going to Ebenezer Methodist Primary School until I moved to Plymouth in 1979. Then we would regularly come back to Betsy Hope for vacation, holidays. So this was my playground. Day and night, sea. Because as you can see, the house was right there. Right there the house was. As my aunt's house was across there, grandparents' house was on top of the hill there, and we lived up to the track in the back there. So the beach was never too far. The aunt lived there. The guns were on the hill up there. So sun is setting now. Looking to head back to Scarborough, head back to Plymouth. So I hope you guys enjoyed the drive today to the east. And I'll catch you in another video.